but promise I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters, and we ain't got nothing to hide.
What up? What up? What is up? Happy Thursday, May the 22nd here at Pregaming on Sports Money. You'll find us here every Monday through Friday. We roll it up and we smoke it Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Giving you guys all the breakdowns, all the latest, all the apps on the craps. We use the line movement, cash flow, splits, Vegas needs, injury reports, weather analysis. You name it, we're going to talk about it. We're going to break it down. That's how we're going to get this money. That's what we do here on a regular basis. We have been having a tremendous week. We just want to keep it going. Right now, I want to keep it going with this Los Angeles Angels. We are in the top of the 8th inning. I gave that one out earlier today at plus 120-ish. And that's what we're holding on here. It's been a really good day, though, thus far. Look, we went 1-1 on the plays I shared with our silver and gold members. And we took the W on the under in that Yankees game for a 1-0 final. That was pretty easy. We took it out on the Padres. And I swear, I willed that home run by Sheets in the 9th inning. And I was literally like, get a home run. And I clicked on the ESPN button to see what the score was doing, and they got a home run. I did that. Unfortunately, I couldn't do any more because every time they scored in the extras, the Blue Jays came right back and fired it off, and the Blue Jays get the win 7-6. Okay. The rest of the day was pretty good, though. I gave out a parlay this morning on the Ramon Scott Morning Steam Show. The Team USA Moneyline in IIHF hockey with the over 5.5 in the Sweden game. Cashed. +2, I think it was +215-ish. Cashed. I should have given you guys some of these other plays here because the Phillies under game was a nice casher. And these team total unders, I parlayed together the Texas. I should have given you guys those. My bad. But we'll still see if we can finish off at 2-1 if the Los Angeles Angels can come through. Now, here's where I get a little nervous. They do have some bullpen issues. It's the team that is not known for their stellar bullpen. And in all fairness, the Athletics are facing a sweep. Take that for what it's worth. And let me tell you this, for what it's worth. You know, you guys might have thought I was joking when I was saying they mad. I've said this before. They do not want you to win. And when I say you, I mean me as well. They don't want we to win. You see it, man. The haters are everywhere. This fucking slug crawled out of the woodwork this morning. First thing this morning. Getting up, throwing hate around out there. I told him to come on in. We'll see if he does. But man, oh man, they get mad. You know, we give it away for free. We're giving away too much. We're doing too much. We're teaching too much. We're educating too much. We went through that battle. If you show them how to do it, they're not going to need you. They are here to work against you. That is a fact. That is not an opinion. That is a fact by your boy here, Pimp Slap POD. Now, I love you guys. I'm going to give you all my action. I'm going to tell it to you straight. You can see we have a big card today, but it's important you notate this. There are some real ones out there. And hey, listen, if I got to anoint myself a real one, then I guess I just did. Because I want to help everybody win. I want you guys to win. I want to share with you guys how I win. And that way, when it all comes down to it, we can work together to truly beat these bookies, right? That's what we're here to do on a regular basis. I'm just telling you. They mad. Now I believe this pimple on someone's ass is a troll because he's connected to another channel and he doesn't retweet anything from anybody. But I'm going to tell you this. Your boy, Pimp Slap POD. I love you guys and I love what we're doing here. So Makes me want to work harder every day. You know, the more we win, the earlier I get up, the more we try to keep her rolling. But man, oh man, can you believe it? Can you believe it? I'll tell you, there are some real ones. There are some of my homies out there that, when cast aside like a pile of dog shit, stuck around and they still get together. And I appreciate that and respect that. But there are a lot of people that don't want you to win. I can't say that enough because you gotta keep your head on a swivel, right? You gotta be looking around. You gotta find out who's got your best interest at heart. Who's teaching you? Who's educating you? Who wants you to win money? Your boy Pimp Slap POD does. So that being said, I get excited about it. I fucking love it. Like, to an extent. I mean, we got some mental health issues out there with some of these people on Twitter. That shit's real. But we punt them on down the line. They're not welcome in this community. That being said, though, I like putting the links in there. Check out the show. Check out the show. You don't recap. I recap every day. I talk about the winners. Then I talk about the losers. I talk about why we lost. And I tell you if I'd play it again. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about yesterday. How about that? Let's do it real quick here because we got a bunch of games to get to. We got a lot of things popping and a live stream for Thursday night. Here's the deal. It was 7-2. They're mad. They're losing. We're winning. They're angry. It's not us versus the bookies. Apparently, it's our community versus everybody else, and we're partnering with the bookies, and we're doing it in a professional way. We're disrupting things on a regular basis. I'm fired up. We got a new contest in the works to continue our professional disruption of the YouTube algorithm. Can't wait to share that with you guys, but let's talk about this games yesterday. Let's get to the plays today, and let's get ready for some evening of cocktails and live betting. I've got a boatload of plays out there. I know the schedule doesn't look big, but when we open up, we go wide, we go deep, and we make these bookies pay. We popped off. Let me see. I don't even know where we popped off yesterday. We went 7-2, so let's figure this out. Let's figure it out together. The entire planet was on the over in the Dodgers game. We cashed the under 9.5. Check that box. 3-1 final. Also, look, everybody liked Oakland. There was no way the Angels were going to win. We checked that box. We've been riding this Oakland train on our way to a 10-4 in their next 14 games. They're on 6 in a row, looking to go 7 plus 145. Check. We did not cash the under 11.5 in the Philly game. Now, in all fairness, we'll take the L. Let's talk about it for a second. In hindsight, with Palmquist on the bump for the Colorado Rockies, especially after I mentioned what he was doing in the minors, should have expected the Phillies to crush it. And it was a fade TJ Walker night. Now, obviously, they won. It's the fucking Rockies, right? Let's pump our brakes. But they won, and it was the Rockies. That being said, did not expect the Colorado Rockies to put up 5 runs. So, that's why I went to the team total under today at the 3.5. Just didn't expect it to happen. Now we got to be cognizant of the Phillies. Next game, coming out of Coors, always an issue. The Dallas Stars might have been, listen, the planet is pissed about all those penalties in the third period. They were here. They would have heard about the ref report. And he would have been live betting plus 700s. I got a doozy for you tonight. You wait and see in this hockey game. What a live betting night it was, too. The Dodgers plus 450. I was just live betting every one of the teams that I bet on that was down. The Knicks in the first quarter cashed. First quarter -1. They won by, I think it was 2. It was sweaty. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. 2-3 seconds left. They get that last point out there, and it was sweaty, but it cashed. They proceeded to go on and lose the game. They gave up a plus 4,000 lead to the Pacers. And that might be the fork in them, boys. We got the under 168.5. We used the mathematics to say this number was just too high. 85-81 final was 166. We cashed under 168.5. Unfortunately, DeJohnny Carrington did not get 11.5 points. She got 11 points. So we took the L. That was our second L of the day. Texas and Yankees under 7.5 cashed. Got that bag. And I told everybody, it's not a Boston spot yesterday. So, sorry for anybody that lost in that spot. Try to tell you. What we know going forward, though, is we are going to fade Garrett Crochet. It don't matter who he's playing. Don't matter whose ass. We're going to fade his ass out there. Let's go. I'm fired up. I'm jacked up about this thing. I tell you, I love the haterade, man. That's what makes us great. You guys have been doing a great job. We are truly disruptors. We are making money. Our bookies are hurting from it. You know, I was looking this past week, just since Monday's show. Depending on what happens with this Angels game, but we'll be up over 17 units in 3 days. Now, I told you, we're not chasers. We're not 5%ers. We're 1 unit clicks. $100 bettor's up $1,700 this week. A $200 bettor's up $3,400 this week. There ain't 5%ers in there. Everything's the same. If we take it on the chin, we take it on the chin, and we move on to the next game. It has nothing to do with seeing angles or trends or this or it's just being consistent. Flat betting is the way to go about it. And I've said that time and again as well. So don't get me going. I'm excited. I'm fired up. We've been having a great week. I want to keep it going. I got one more day in me too before I go out for a little vacay. I'll be out. Well, I say vacay, but listen, it'll be fun. I'm going to have a lot of fun, but it's going to be, it's the Canadian wilderness. So let's pump our brakes. I'm not going to the beach or playing at a casino. I'll be playing with, other stuff. Just leave it at that. But I'm excited for it. Can't wait. We're going to cap her off. We're going to get ourselves going tonight. And it's going to be a great night. So let's go. Let's get to work. You guys know the deal. In-show, thumbs up, post-show, comments in the algorithm out there. Get us going on this thing. And get yourselves accustomed to it. Contest is coming up, I think about 2 weeks. 2 weeks. And it's going to have to do with leaving comments. And it's going to have to be leaving a play. It's going to be leaving a specific play in the comments, the video that gets put out there. And you're not going to want to miss it. I'm excited for it. I was putting the planning together for it today. And listen, I hope you guys like it. I think you'll like it. Just a little spoiler alert. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. I can't remember what live show it was on. It was on a live show, but we talked about it a couple weeks ago. And I'm excited for it. So get yourselves accustomed to it. Keep leaving those comments post-show. It's fantastic. You guys did a great job yesterday. I think we had 16 comments post this show, not to mention Ramon's show and the videos that we left out there. As far as the content as well, we talked about golf. What did I tell you guys on the golf video? This is one of those, it's anybody's tournaments. We were trying to fade Scotty Scheffler. This is a fun one to do it. And what do I mean by it's anyone's tournament? John Pack leads the pack at 7 under. He's American, but that's all I know about him. Patrick Rogers, 4 under. Matty Schmidt, 4 under. How about that German? Rio Hasasuni, I don't know. See, Japanese, 4 under. Matt Wallace, 4 under. I do know Matt Wallace. Bo Hostler, okay, I know a little Bo Hostler. Bud Colley, Adam Svensson, Chris Ventura, all -4 or better in this tournament out there. And every one of those dudes is a price tag. So get back out there. Check out that golf video if you haven't done that yet. We will be releasing the rugby video tonight as well. So the rugby video will come out here about 7:30, 8 o'clock-ish. And the plays, I believe, are Saturday and Sunday. So Saturday Eastern time, Saturday morning, which means Friday night. You're going to have to get that action in tomorrow night. And then Saturday night for Sunday as well. So that's the way we get this thing rolling, you guys. Let's keep it going. Let's stay hot. Let's do our jobs here. Your job is to smash that thumbs up button if you haven't done it already. And then we will start this show. God, I'm fired up. I am fired the fuck up. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm going to tell you. When I get out of bed and I'm catching shrapnel right off the gate because we're winning, I get fired up. I get jacked. I get excited about it. And because they mad. And they go to their burners because they're too chicken shit to say it mano a mano. Let me tell you this too, while we're on this subject. Don't be an egg. You know what an egg is? Now, I guess with respect for a lot of you guys, I do. I love you guys. You know, you guys, this is my family. We're a community here. Literally involving my family. So, with all due respect, you got to get a picture on your Twitter account. You got to. This thing's different. This is different. By the way, there are badges available for our bronze, silver, and gold members. I made the first badge last night. But you don't be an egg. You know why it's called an egg? Because when Twitter first started, if you didn't have a picture in there, they just put an egg. You hadn't hatched yet. put your picture out there. Now, some of you might be saying, well, I'm a little apprehensive if my work finds out. Now, listen, this is not legal advice. But in just about every state, it is illegal to leverage social media in a non-hiring or firing decision, as long as you don't cross the line. I know that for a fact. I was a hiring sales manager for an international company, and we were not allowed to use social media as that process. That rule changed when Facebook and Twitter got popping. So don't cross the line. Don't be a schmuck. But get a picture in there. Your level of credibility goes up exponentially. That being said, all of that stuff aside, put your place in the chat. Let's talk about it. We got to get moving. We got a lot of stuff to do. We got a lot of ground to cover. I want to see this Angels come through for us here. 7-5, ninth inning. I want this one, you guys. 2-1 afternoon for the play shared with you guys. 2-1. Can you imagine I asked for 25 likes and retweets and everybody gets it? We get 4. Fucking 4. Okay, maybe these people don't like money. I can't help it, but I know you guys like money. So let's get going. Plays in the chat. Get the pen and paper out. We're going to talk about what these plays look like, who's on what, and how they're getting after it. I know our guy Joe Dog is trying to come back from down 4 units. So we're going to see if we can help our guy Joe Dog out tonight. Stop Geoengineering's here. Says, good luck tonight, you filthy animals. Irish Thomas. Sorry, Irish Thomas. Get your drinks ready. It's about to go. You're goddamn right. Hashtag Thirsty Thursday. Let's get that up there. The Futon Bets is in the house. He likes the Indy Fever first half -2.5. Sup, boys? Let's get this money. Hit the like. Let's go, my guy. Joe Doc says, I'm tired of trading rocks. Mission to move boulders. That's right. We're out here moving rocks. We out here moving boulders, my dog. Let's go. Cameron Sinet's here. Says, we took the Knicks Soul last night. Pacers for the ship. Joe Dubs in the house. There's my guy, Joe. Robert McCormick's ready to roll. Old E hammered the Angels live +450. A little sweaty down here in Florida. There's Phil the Kill. Snagged Rockies +2.5 earlier. Had to sweat it out. There's Station Play 21. He likes the Astros +1. Derek B. Live bet the Angels again earlier. Joe Dog says just about all my homies canceled. Uh-oh. Joe W. Phil the Kill says Mike's the people's champ. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you guys all being here. Peter Gracias checking in with us. He's ready to roll. Bo Jackson says, great call on the Dallas Stars. Tim. It was fun. Trisha M. Hey, y'all. I like the yellow haterade. Silent Rob says, new badges. Got to check out them badges. Go out there in your membership kit. Click on the membership kit and click on badges. Check it out. Should be out there for you guys. I made it last night. It's a new one. It's a fun one. It's going to be part of the new graphic package that we're working on. So get ready. Irish Thompson says pimp slap. Silent Rob says out them Mikey. I'm telling you, man, they just you guys, I gave you my rant on that. Nicholas Handy, Peter Gracia. Appreciate you, my dude. Paul Romero, excuse me. 2-5 with Ramon so far today, hoping for a turnaround. Okay. Stop Geo. Here we go. Here's your turnaround. 2-leg alternate line prop parlay. Naz Reid, 15+ points, rebounds, and assist. Hartenstein, 15+ point rebounds and assist. See, Naz is over this, and 14 was last 15. I love that. You bring the stats in there on top of that. Stop Geoengineering. That's fantastic. There you guys go. A little alternate PRA spot for Hartenstein and Naz. Stop Geo. Sorry. It's all good. Trisha M in the house says Moolah has an incredible attitude. Oh, appreciate that. Appreciate you, our guy, or our girl. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Yee. But she's recognized I got a birthday coming up, so I appreciate that. Joe Doc says LA Angels over 12, baby. They're right there. Gonzo's in the house. What up, Gonzo? Nunya's here. Nunya business play of the day. When are we getting that puppy back? He says Canes money line. OKC money line total over 214.5 to finish off a +2,500 parlay. There's Barry. What's up, Barry? Keith's in the house. Keith's checking in. Joe Dog says over 224 on tilt. Let's go, you guys. Lexicon's checking back in with us. What's up, Lexicon? Cameron Sinet says the Knicks aren't a team. They're individuals. I agree with that. I agree with that statement. Let's go. Are we ready? Are you guys ready? You guys, appreciate you guys all. Listen, we're having a good day. Live stream tonight. Goddamn right. It's only right that we get her rolling, my guy. Scump Blaster, the scumbag play of the day, is checking in here with the 3-pack. Nationals money line. Hurricanes money line. Atlanta Dream money line. Okay. Irish Thompson says, smash the thumbs up. Please do that, you guys. We're ready to roll. Let's go. Jerry Davis says, F the Blue Jays bullpen ruined a great afternoon of beating the books. That was loading. Who's on that over? Peter Grassa says, love the enthusiasm. Tigers, Hurricanes, OKC for me. Bo Jackson. I was on the Padres too. I gave you guys the Padres, which makes me more of a schlep. Joe Alvarado's in the house. Says sports money. Bo Jackson caught a Fernando Tatis ball. The seam was tightly stitched. This means the ball travels further than loosely stitched. That's interesting. I didn't realize that. And of course, he was on the Angels' first five and under first five, but Tyler Anderson thought everyone needed a free pass. Ramon Scott! The Athletics miraculously make the playoffs. They could be ticketed to a return to the Oakland Coliseum. Wow. That would be something, wouldn't it? There we go, my guy. He's going to see a little Primus in Bo Jackson. Let's go with that. How about that to kick us off and move in the right direction? Why not? We deserved it. Why not? We've been good. Now it's time to be bad to these bookies. Hurt them right now, tonight. Told you guys, I'm jacked up. I'm ready to go. Let's pop off game number 1. Guardians. I'm just going to move quickly here. We got a lot of stuff to do tonight, so let's get to the getting. How about that? Let's just fire it right now. And let's keep making them mad. Let's get them angry. They fading. They can't sleep because they're losing, and we get up bright and early, feeling great. The sun's never been shining brighter. Cleveland Guardians and the Detroit Tigers. And the sun's never been shining brighter for the Tigers, literally. Leading baseball, but they have the best record in baseball in like ever. This line has come down significantly for the Tigers. Significanto. Minus 166 all the way down to minus 124. 79% of the bets and 85% of the cash are on these Tigers. Some late action, but still to be noted, this line has come down considerably. The Guardians, this total opened up at 8.5. It's moved to 8. And a lot of money coming in on the over. 86% of the bets, 84% of the cash. Can they just finish this fucking Angels game for us already? I don't want to sweat it anymore. Stop. Okay. First things first, I mentioned the standings and what we've seen right now from a stellar Detroit Tigers side of the house. They are returning home after a series against Toronto. We talked about that one. Spot on. We talked about Toronto. Said they ground that thing out. They used up all their pieces, and they were going to have to take a bullet. They took that bullet. We faded them in game 1 of that series. They lost 11-4. They rested their bullpen. They came back and they fired on one of the hottest teams in baseball in the St. Louis Cardinals. 5-4 and then 5-1. And the Guardians have been disruptive number 1. They've had rain, they've had weather, they've had travel. This is going to be their third straight series on the road, albeit Cleveland and Detroit, probably could throw a tightly seamed baseball from Detroit to Cleveland. Maybe not. The Guardians did come off that last win there, but when I talk about kind of the weather, look, they played 2 games in that Minnesota series. They were both yesterday. So they went through rain delays. They started a game that got stopped 2-1, and then they held on to that thing for 2 days? Canceled 2 days worth of baseball. Players are routine. Pitchers are routine. They're all a function of their routine, and everything has just been disruptive for this Cleveland team, and again, continuing to travel. So you got Flaherty. I don't love Flaherty. He's coming off of getting busted up. You look at his 3.6 ERA at home. He let up 2 earned runs and a home run his last game. He did go 5.2 innings. I guess it's not terrible. But look, overall, I'll keep it short for you guys here. No need to dwell on the small stuff. 2 things going on. 1, big substitution in the lineup. Thomas for Arias for the Guardians. Shout out to our guy Spindock for sharing this useful information. Highest contact guy getting moved into this lineup out there. And I think this is probably, 3 strikeouts and 13 attempts versus Flaherty. Maybe that's why we're seeing this line move just a little bit, but I don't know. I'm going to back them. I'm going to believe in them. I'm going to believe in them for this reason. One, I think they've got one of the strongest bullpens in baseball in Detroit. Last year was Cleveland. This year, I believe it's Detroit. If they can get through the Flaherty piece here, the AL Central teams playing divisional games as a favorite in game number 1 are 132-60. Divisional home favorites, game 1 of a series, striking. For all the aforementioned season disruption going on with Cleveland, the bullpen factors, the travel factors, third straight series on the road. Give me the Tigers. That's going to be the way we open up this card. We'll keep her moving. We'll go Brewers and the Pirates next. I talked about this on a Spaces with our guy Mickey Mac here just a little bit ago. So we can be short and sweet and to the point. We look at these numbers. This Pirates spot opened up here as a 9 with some dippage now. Some dippage to 8.5 with 65% of the bets and 64% of the cash on the Brewers. On the over. 65 and 64 on the over. 67% of the bets, 76% of the cash coming in on the Brewers. Lines dropped. Minus 124 to minus 112. Burrows, Savale. We cashed, every game of the series with the Pirates under against the Reds, right? Would we go 3-0 in that one? And the predominant reason, Pirates bats stink. Also, worth noting, as do the Brewers bats. Now, the Brewers, recent history with their games, they played Baltimore. Pump your brakes. It was Baltimore. Baltimore's off. They won 5-4. They won 5-2. They lost the last game of the series. And they're traveling. Not a ton of travel. Maybe an hour plane ride. Tops, 45 minutes. 45 minutes, let's call it. Baltimore to Pittsburgh. Now it's cold. There's weather elements and everything else that goes under the sun with this thing here. But look, we're seeing reverse line movement. I did see earlier kind of the analysis and saw some spots that did kind of indicate an over. Then I looked at myself and I said, Self, do you really want to be invested in 2 of the worst hitting teams in baseball with their total? And the answer is no. So I'll take the 9. The 9's coming off that key number to 8.5 as we get closer. There's your over. 8-5 Angels. Cash that over 12 for our guy. And that's the way I'm going to get after this Pirates game. What do we got? One more 640, I believe, right? One more 640 on the card. Yeah. And then there's only one game left in Major League Baseball. So we're giving this rapid fire. I'll put this right on the screen for you guys to consider it right now. Talked about it earlier. Smith, Shaver, Trevor Williams, 5.91 ERA. Shaver, 2.33 ERA. And collectively, yesterday's game was delayed. Weather delay. Small movement. It's oscillating. It's one of those oscillators, right? We talk about oscillating line. The numbers come down from minus 156 to minus 150 on the Braves, making it cheaper. But it also got cheaper on the national side of things from a plus 132 to a plus 135. So oscillating. It's not really a tell. 80% of the bets, 87% of the cash on the Braves. 7.5 has moved to 8.5 on the total with 79% of the bets and 74% of the cash on the over. And I mentioned Williams. Bum. Thing is, when you look at these lineups here, I guess the biggest thing to say about this one is Atlanta's bats are coming back. These guys just played a week ago, so they've got some familiarity and continuity between the rosters. But the biggest change now, you got the Ozunas, the Albies. Kind of the band is back. And, what we're seeing from that is production to some degree. Now, I think we see a live dog when it comes to these Nationals. Look, they've won 4 in a row. They did win 5-3 that previous game before the rain delay yesterday. But look at the runs that the Braves have been scoring since their bats have come back. They put up a 5 that last game of the series against Washington. They go to Boston. They put up 20 runs in 3 games on the Red Sox. That just beat up on the Mets, minus yesterday's game. They come out to Washington, that first game, aces on the mound. They still score 3 runs. So what makes me think that this wouldn't go under? I can't get into there. We've got in the last 7 days, two of the best lineups on the batting side of things against righties. Now, Smith-Shawver does have a 2.33 ERA in 7 starts. But the Nationals versus righties, the past week, a 388 OBA is good enough to be number 5 in baseball. Is it a coincidence they're winning games because they're the number 5 overall offense in baseball? No, makes sense. Williams, I mentioned he stinks. The struggles he's got, it's not just a 1 or 2 game sample. It's a 9-game season for this guy already with a 6 ERA, 5.91 to be factually accurate. And it's getting worse. You know, we talked about the goalie trends earlier in the NHL season. How about the same thing? The guy sucks overall, and he sucks even more in his last 4. 6.86 ERA, up from almost a full point up in his last 4. So his first 5 were bad. His next 4 are even worse. And he's playing against an offense that has its bats back. They're hitting a 352 against righties. That's 10th overall in Major League Baseball. So we got a 5th and a 10th. We got a pitcher that's due for regression and a pitcher that's in the middle of just the race to mediocrity. And we got bad bullpens. You know, Washington Nationals bullpen. The reason I moved away from the national side is because of how bad their bullpen is. 29th overall in Major League Baseball for the bullpen in this national side of the house. So I got the Braves. Braves first 5 over 4.5. I'm sorry, Braves. I've got the total first 5 over and full game over, a double dipper. I'm expecting runs. I think that's the way we see it. We're going to isolate. Look at the last 7 days. There's Trevor 85. I think this is my DGM parlay. Rangers, Yankees, Nerfy, OKC plus 4.5. Liberty on the money line. Cameron Sinet doesn't trust Flaherty. Flaherty. I get it. Joe Dog says, my name is dumb. Doesn't like the song, I guess. All right. Jerry Davis, WRC number 1. Washington, number 1 WRC plus in the last week. Williams, extra 2-run, extra better than the actual. Drew Teller. What's up, Drew Teller? Hope you're doing well. All right, last game I got for you guys in baseball. Major League Baseball. Like I said, weird schedule today. A lot of these things are popping off here. Fucking right now. Going to cash that Angels game, I hope. All things considered, it'll be a winning day for us in the afternoon. Let's see if we can't keep it rolling to the evening here. Parlay alert. Hear me out with my rationale and thinking here. Start with the splits, excuse me. Let me start with the old split of Rooskies here. Seattle opened up at minus 120. They've moved 14 cents to minus 134. 61% of the bets and 55% of the cash on the Mariners. It's moved. Total started at 8. It's moved to 8.5. Rolling on the points, on the runs. 92% of the bets, only 72% of the cash. Meaning, somewhere out there, some sharp respected bettors are looking at this under. In fact, it's the highest differential on the evening card to the under. Jorge Kirby's making his first start. I wanted to get involved in the Astros. Anytime the pitcher's making the first start, and I'll use McCullers as the reference. We played on McCullers. He lit up, 9 runs in that first inning in his first start? But he has been getting better. He had a 15 ERA. It's down to a 7.88 in 2 starts. That's how much better he's been getting. Jorge Kirby, as I mentioned, played in the minors. He got some minor league starts out there, so it's not like he's coming in fully cold, but this will be his first time with the big bats. My recency bias with this Houston Astros team will not allow me to play the Astros today. Just looking at Lance McCullers' ERA at home is 189. 189. Can that even be right? I don't know. He did go 4 innings his last game. He only let up 2 runs on 4 hits. So the way I was looking at this thing is I was projecting, looking at these 2 lineups and the lack of success that these lineups have had specifically against these pitchers. If you look overall, 200 is like the best we got on Houston. And most of the guys on the Seattle side of things haven't gone against McCullers. So I like this little parlay option. I like to just, instead of I think this game goes under 8.5 to start with. I think that's the play. And you can get that at low juice, but I'm banking on this being the third straight start for McCullers in his normal rotation after blowing up like a beach ball, tightening it up, getting his form back. And look, Seattle's hit or miss when it comes to their bats overall. They are 15-9 on the road. But look, who have they played? They've played the Padres. The Padres just got nuked by Toronto. They played the White Sox. They actually lost the game 1-0 to the White Sox. Now, they did play the Yankees, and they did play Toronto. They lost every game to Toronto. It's just hit or miss, hit or miss. I suspect more of the miss because McCullers is on the uptick. I like Houston. They just burned me yesterday, so I'm not going to – was it yesterday? Early yesterday? They had the early game yesterday, right? So I'm gonna bank on Jorge coming out, not giving up 9 runs in the first inning. Pitchers that do what they do against these batter lineups, we've seen through history, they shove. McCullers only needs to get me 5, and I suspect he'll go normal rotation, normal count, at least 5 innings. Unless he's out there nuking him. Maybe we see him go 6 or 7, and we get that cash money. So it's a nice little parlay. Joe Dog says, yo, did you just find an Easter egg? Who's that? Who's Easter egg? Bo Jackson's on the Tigers. True Teller says, smashed a like for Mike. Appreciate that, dude. Grandpa Ernie. Hi, everybody. What's up, Pip? What's up, Ernie? Dana Delp. Randall over 19. Hartenstein under 18.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Okay. We're moving at a decent pace. We just rapid fired some baseball because they're all popping off at the same freaking time, with the exception of that one later game. I also didn't want to get too wide on that Houston spot because I do believe there will be some live betting opportunities for. I said this on Ramon's show earlier. If you live bet every single play that I gave out yesterday, first thing you got to know is the worst lead in hockey is a 2-goal lead going into the third period. So banging down a plus 700 where everyone's talking about the refs, not surprised. I mean, didn't look good. It wasn't comfortable, but plus 700? It was minus 120, I think it was, before the game. So, yeah. Yeah, we're going to take a shot with that. I didn't expect him to go out there and win the game 6-3, 4 goals. But I did say Skinner is shutout or shitbag. It's a Sports Money original. Skinner, back-to-back shutouts, and then shitbag. In fact, I think he had, what was that third period? 7 shots, 4 goals allowed. Oh, yeah. That's going to be the weak link for Edmonton. Edmonton's got a history of shitty goalies with all that talent. That's why I said a couple of years ago, does McDavid win the cup with Edmonton or somebody else? Let's talk about this game. Let's get it on the screen. Let's get to the business here. Oh, there's a player prop out there. That's not a parlay. That's a player prop. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it because I think we're dialed in here with the groove. Okay. First of all, the zigzag theory is real in the NHL. The home favorite that lost in the playoffs is 32-11. That's a 3-to-1 ratio. Was that 75%? 75% of the time, the home favorite that lost in the playoffs comes back and wins. Now, both these goalies are phenomenal. I talked about it before. I'm surprised that Frederik Andersen, Fredericks, you guys remember Fredericks? I don't know why I just thought of that. Anyways, I was surprised he played as poorly as he did. What did they let in? 6 goals? Fully surprised for a road team. Now, if the road team gets a lucky by margin, they lose that next game. And you might be sitting there going, well, wait a minute, Pimp Slap. They beat the shit out of them, 6-2. I get it. But you got to look at the stats. And what do the stats show? That was a sloppy road team with a lot of giveaways. Now, they put a lot of pressure on them. But if you hold the opponent to 2 or less goals, you scored 4 or more goals, and you gave the puck away 12 or more times, you're 18-52 the next game. You're losing those games by almost 2 goals a pop. First of all, let's get that right. Second, let's layer in the fact that now the Carolina Hurricanes are 5-1 at home this playoff season. That one just happened. So we're going to just toss them out like a pile of dog shit? Really? And now let's take a step back. Not only 5-1 with those luck factors that are associated with it out there, but what's the narrative? These guys can't win at home. They haven't won an Eastern Conference final in 13 games. 7 years. Half these dudes weren't even playing in the NHL 7 years ago. So you know I like my trends, but I like to fade a trend when it gets to 10 as much as the next one. So at 13 going on 14, that's just a filler. That's somebody that saw a trend and was like, this is a great trend. Look at this trend. Stop listening to those guys. Although it was fascinating. I thought about it for about a half a second. You got one of the best home teams in hockey in a bounce back situation. Last but not least, let's dial up the old ref report. Good old Danny O'Rourke will be the head stripey out there for the Carolina Hurricanes. I think this made him mad with that Dallas game yesterday. All those Dallas losses going, it was a shit third period. Guess what? Carolina's 5-1 this season when Danny O'Rourke refs their games. They're 3-0 last year. They're 3-1-1 the year before. Doesn't it feel a little bit like a Wes McCauley spot from last night with the Dallas Stars? What's that look like in round 2? This combination ref together. O'Rourke, St. Laurent, the assistant linesy. Florida and Toronto played in game 2. Maybe you remember that series. Florida lost that game 3-2. Washington and Carolina had this reffing combination in game 3. Maybe you remember that series. Carolina won 4-0. So that gives us another little edit. We're just trying to find enough to push us and just find a little bit more of an edge and a little bit more of an edge and a little bit more of an edge. I'm going to take the best home team in hockey with probably the best goaltender in the NHL right now, looking to have him bounce back in the zigzag situation. And then I went to Seth Jarvis. You might be going, well, that's a pretty specific, unique look. First of all, I don't think you've heard anybody say this anywhere today. So let me share with you why I'm getting involved in this one. The lead scorer for the Carolina Hurricanes, Seth Jarvis. He's got 12 points. He's on the top power play line. And why did I drill down the microscope? To get a point, it's like minus 150 or minus 160. How about this? When we see another repping combination involved in this game, Forlot was paired with Sutherland starting in round 2 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. These are the guys. So if you don't know how hockey works, like there's guys that call the penalties and there's guys that watch the lines. The guys that call the penalties call a lot of penalties. They officiated Edmonton, Vegas, Dallas, Winnipeg, Florida, Toronto. Florida, Toronto, 6-1. Over the course of that process, 70 minutes in penalties, 7 power plays created. Most power play opportunities of any game in the postseason with the guys that call the penalties in this game. So you're going to give me a plus 190 for a team that's desperate. They got to win this game. We know the refs are going to call a shitload of penalties, or at least have a propensity to do so. They favor the home team, and the number 1 point scorer's got a plus 190 to get a power play point. Yeah. That's the way we got there. That was the deductive logic I used and deductive reasoning to isolate Seth Jarvis. Anytime power play point. Seth Jarvis. Shit, 3-0 Brewers. That's not what we want to see. All right. I like that Seth Jarvis play rather much. I thought that was when I started seeing the ref stats, I was like, whoa, really? Now watch these guys play the most incredibly disciplined 5-on-5 game and there's no penalties. That would suck. I don't think that's the case, though. I don't suspect that to be the situation tonight. I think that we'll see him favor the home team, and that means the home team will probably get you a couple penalties, and we'll be moving in the right direction. Hopefully. And Carolina gets the win. It's like 3 units on 2 plays. So that's the right way we want to be. That's how we maximize our ROI in this business. Speaking of business, can Edwards manage the business in this game is what we're talking about here. Looking at the cash flow splits in the NBA, this line continues to move. Was 7, moved to 7.5, 7.5 all afternoon, moved to 8 just now. 59% of the bets and 59% of the cash think OKC Thunder. Bust them up. Your boy here thinks the wrong team's favored. Total went from 215.5 to 217.5. 94% of the bets, 95% of the cash on the over. It's screaming. It's moving. Now, here's the situation. We know Minnesota's got to win this game. They can't go home 0-2. They stink at home. Season's over. Series is over if they go back to home and lose this game. But we're looking at the 8 points and thinking, well, can they cover? You know, I went through the line index the other day. I talked to you guys about this with these games. And I mentioned this on the Spaces with CMAC earlier. The line was 7.5 last game. It was 7.5 today. They got busted up, 114.88. So why isn't this line 11? They're still, the OKC is so dominant. Everybody's betting on them and they're back at home. Because the books know the Timberwolves play defense. Now, SGA, obviously getting the MVP is a big factor. He probably goes out there and plays lights out, but hey, why not? Why can't they key up on this guy? The problem that they had is last game, the Timberwolves shot 51 3-pointers. They played the old Steph Curry game. You know what I mean by the Steph Curry game? Why can't we just score more threes than they get twos and we'll end up winning the game through attrition, natural attrition? Well, because you missed your fucking threes. You weren't scoring your threes. However, they were leading in that first half last game. So, you know, comes down to it. I think this is a great opportunity for us to, you know, yesterday we clipped that first quarter. It's already 2-0 in the Braves game. That's what we like to see. Clip that 2-0, or I'm sorry, first quarter yesterday. And then that third quarter on the other side of things for the Pacers, right? Let's go. But I think what happens here is, what does SGA do better than probably anybody, especially this year? Free throws. The reason I want to get in and out of this thing is we're not going to see any free throws in the first quarter. Maybe we see some in the second quarter, but it's the full game that they can just chip away at that back end number and then end up covering a 7.5 or an 8. So I wanted to break it down and get the 4.5 for the first half. Like I said, they've already covered it once. Edwards, you know, going to the locker room, screwed things up in that second half. Now, you know, they say he's fine. He's going to be good to go. I get all of that and then some, but, you know, we'll see. I guess we'll see how these boys come to play. I just want to get this first half, give me my cash, and then we'll get out of there and see where it takes us for that third quarter. But I think we do have a wrong team favorite situation. How about this? I got the round 3 dog at 12-11 straight up in this position. They moved to 17-6 against the spread. They're 16-6 in favor of the over. Problem is, the over's average in those 22 games is 212. So you slap the 7, which is the margin of victory on the over. What's that put us at? 219. Not enough of a cushion for me to want to get involved there. However, on the side, what are we seeing? 17-6 against the spread. The average total is 6, and they're covering by almost 6. So if they're getting 6 and they're covering by 6, they got a shot to win the game outright. With this thing being at an 8 for the full game, you still have 4 points in that margin in your back pocket. Now, I'm not advocating the full game. I'm just going to try to take the fact that the key component out there is SGA and his free throws. We'll see that more in the second half where they tick away at this thing. defensive-oriented game to start things off. They had bad 3 shooting night. It fucked them. It screwed Celtics too, by the way. There's no question that the Celtics series got game over night because they couldn't get their threes going after that Orlando series and then moving on up to Cleveland. But, I'm sorry, the Knicks. But anyhow, I like the first half. Give me the plus 4.5. Get me in and out of there. I don't mind the sprinkle on the money line. First half and the full game here. Yeah, people are expecting to blow them out. I get it. I totally see why that's the case. I'm not one of those people. When everyone's zigging, we're zagging. That's how you lead. Leaders don't just blindly follow everyone like sheep, right? We're leaders around here. We come up with the creative, innovative way to get that cash. And then everyone else is sitting there holding their hands going, I don't know what happened. And we're smiling and high-fiving. Then they get up at 8 to 7 the next morning and they shit on you because you won. That's what they do in this business. So let's take a shot with that first half, plus 4.5, and let's root for these fucking Minnesota Timberwolves out there. I got 2 NBA plays for you. I'll just move quickly through the WNBA. I don't get shit for, the deal. There's not a lot of trends and analyses for these guys. These games will pop off at 7:30. This will put us right to the window and get up out of here. And then we'll get back. We'll do some live cocktailing here. No show Saturday live. Ramon will be live at 9 a.m. But there won't be a live show Saturday. I won't even have fucking cell phone signal. So that being said, let's take advantage tonight and have a lot of fun. The Fever and the Dream, first game on deck. Of course, we know Caitlin, the WNBA loves her Clark. Total open at 175.5. It's moved to 173.5. It's the same reason that we're going to back the under in this game as we looked at last night. Opponent won by more than 7 points. The total was less than 174. We know it was 218 and 149 to the over, but the average total was 164. 175.5 is where they opened this number. It's ticked down a couple points. We know the Dream had a massive explosion there the other day as well, but down to 173.5 for the under in this game. I'm going to take the under for the Dream. 173.5. I don't mind the Dream team total under either, but I'm not going to double dip. It's too early in the WNBA to be getting wild like that. The other game I'm going to get involved with here are the New York Liberty. Liberty. And this is another spot. It opened up at 10 and it's now 12. And the Chicago Sky are brutal. You know I like my girl, Angel. I don't like her trying to make herself the villain. Now, she did this shit, and okay. I mean, you earned it. I like that chicken shit we saw the other day. She pushes the player out of the way so she can get the rebound. Caitlin Clark comes through, makes the play, and then she's crying like she's crying like she's angry. She's crying like she's angry because she got fouled. It was the right play, but you gooned up first. Don't be an asshole. I like those long eyelashes, though. Aside from that, though, just not enough pieces, right? We talked about this last year when they picked her up as well. I mean, she's been working on her 3-point game because she's a defensive monster. And I talked about this a little bit ago. Her rebounding total today is 13.5. Her double-double is like minus 180. No, minus 280. I'm sorry. It's stupid. They're expecting her to have a game and be instrumental because she's the only one there. I know, not really, but more or less. In there, Angel Reese saga as a home dog with a total under 169. This total is 165. The Chicago Sky are 0-11 against the spread. Home dog, total less than 169. They stink. They haven't won in the Angel Reese era. Now, we saw the Liberty, had a tough game against the Connecticut Sun. They lost 94-86. They were big favorites. And then the whole conversation was they can't cover. They can't cover. They kicked the shit out of Las Vegas. Now, Las Vegas is one of those teams that can't cover. But they were only laying 3.5, and they went out there and busted them up by 14 points. So they can cover. They got themselves back in the groove. And they're at home again. So why the hell not? 3 straight home games for these girls. The Sky, on the other hand, What are you going to say? They covered the game, getting 7 against the Minnesota Lynx. This is the last road game before the Lynx went home for their series opener. On the other side of things, they played the Caitlin Clarks out there. They got busted up by almost 40 points, 35 points. They were getting 8. By the way, fit the script. Now, the average line in those games, around 4.5 in that 0-11 spot. So the fact that the books are dropping a 10 said they're expecting them to get cooked. And they're not covering the spread by 13 points. So we slap the margin of 13 on top of the 4.5. We get what? 17.5 points? Believe it or not, laying at 12, I still see value in this game. I like Angel Reese. It's hard for me to go against her. But long eyelashes aside, that's not going to win you a game. I think the Liberty go out there. They bust them up. They show the advantage. Not to mention, let's talk about the hot city for a minute, right? Well, New York, the whole city's fired up. They're not fired up about Juan Soto. They're pissed at Juan Soto. The guy's making $300 million or whatever this year, $750 million. So he's making a lot of money. But I think there's an opportunity for the Liberty to go on the road here, take the Sky down, neutralize them here. Big road favorite for a reason. I think it's a good spot for us to get the cash. There's 2 spots for you guys in the WNBA. Hey, we just won. We just won I think, are we 2 in a row in the WNBA, I think? We started out 0-2, in all fairness. So we got 2 in a row. So that's the deal. I know I missed you guys in the chat. I know we had a lot of games to cover. We didn't have a lot of time to do it. So I appreciate everybody being here. Redbeard, he's glad to be back. Can he type today? You should be able to type. I thought I fixed it. Fucking, you know how it goes, J-Main. Things pop up, flare out. Peter Gracia says, like Minnesota in this game, at least a cover, maybe win this game. J Main says, what up, gang? Dana Delp plus 8.5 now. I think the wrong team's favored. Just makes me like it even more. As crazy as that is, now watch them go out there and lose by 20. The one thing is, we talked about this on that component with this basketball game. The 20 plus was one of the big trends that's been popping out. That thing hasn't covered all postseason, and it falls in line again today. After a team blows them out, they bust them up again and cover the spread, but it hasn't hit all playoffs. We do see the zigzag yin-yang 2-1. Let's go. Atlanta's about to cash that first 5 over for us before we even get out of the first inning. That's the way we're going to do it, you guys. I appreciate everybody being here today. Get yourselves accustomed to making a comment in the chat. Big contest announcement coming up here. Going to put some money into this one. And I can't wait to announce it. I'm not going to announce it yet, but get yourselves ready. It's going to involve making a comment after the video is released. So get accustomed to it. Get familiar with it. I want everybody to be eligible for this thing. I'm going to take some hard-earned dollars out of my pocket to give them to you guys. So let's do it. Appreciate you guys. Thank you all for being here. Smash that thumbs up if you haven't done so already. We got some work to do to get ready. My guy Razor Sharp wants to stream live, and I am always down to do just that. So it's going to be a fun night. Get those bets in. Get yourselves a quick refreshment. Get a quick bite to eat. And get ready to come back and have a nice evening live betting and sweating here with the Sports Money gang. On behalf of Sports Money, check out my guy, Ramon Scott, tomorrow morning. And check out the rugby video. Going to be out there in about, I think I got it scheduled to release in 26 minutes. So around 7:30. I'm pretty sure it's 7:30. It's either 7:30 or 8. Keep your notifications on. You don't want to miss out on the content. 2 plays from them boys this week. Team totals ready to go. They feel really good about them. I already got my bets placed, so you don't want to miss out on that action. Get that money. Good luck to everybody. Thank you for checking us out.